Hey all, welcome back to Van Dingo. This is Scott. Great to have you with me. I am getting ready to roll through my next window install. In this case, it's going to be the passenger side middle window. Window came in from Van Windows Direct. It had been on back order and it arrived, so it's time to put it in. And this is just going to be another one of those do-it-yourself videos. I've done some window installs in past videos, but for me, this is just sort of chronicling from a video perspective all of the activities surrounding putting this van project together. Let's get after it. So let me start by showing you the setup I've got here inside the van for collection of all the various metal shavings that come off in this process. So it's amazing what you can put together with a couple of trash bags and some painter's tape. And this is simply just to catch all of those shavings that are part of this process. The metal shavings can really contaminate the rest of your van and cause rust prematurely. So just about every YouTuber I've seen on this topic has advised of the same issue as well. So I keep a shop vac handy, but try to collect everything in this way. And I've just got them taped up to the ceiling. Did it last night, so these have hung there just fine. The metal shavings, there's a little bit of weight to them, but it's not a big deal. And so in a previous video, we installed this slider window and this bunk window. And the purpose of today's video is we're going to put this window in here. On the other side will be part of the kitchen unit. And we're thinking with dual sliders and windows on both sliders, with the bunk windows, then this center window, we're going to bring an awful lot of light into the van. So the beauty of these Sprinter vans, and as I understand is the case for an awful lot of the vans on the market out there that started out as cargo vans, is for a window install, you just need to follow this interior cutout. So this is the panel that's going to come out during this process, and I'm going to start by drilling holes all along the way here, and that will show on the outside the exact line I need to cut with a jigsaw to follow this same line all the way through. So there's 4 holes in here now. When you get to a corner, you want to put more holes in on this corner. I would say, 6 or something like that. And then you can spread them out again. Think about when you get a jigsaw in here, you can cut a straight line pretty easily. And when you start that corner, the jigsaw blade's only about as wide as my finger. And so you're trying to turn that in the metal. It helps to have that extra flexibility of more holes when you're cutting the jigsaw through these corners. So just be aware of that. Tip from previous window installs. Slippery steel. All right, holes are in. Not sure you can see them. Let me get up a little closer here. There's the corner holes. So I can make those cuts around the corner. Keep in mind, when you drill this out, you get this piece of metal that chunks off. Not only do we need to vacuum, shop vac all of this, but you need to kind of clean these burrs off. And one of the things that I've noticed is it you know, sort of rips up the bottom of the shoe of your jigsaw. Tools that we're gonna need for this next step: painter's tape, file down the edges when we cut the panel out. This is going to trace our line in order to cut the line as straight as we possibly can, following those drilled out holes. We're going to use metal blades for the jigsaw. Here's the jigsaw. This is what can happen when you've done a lot of work. See how, I don't know if you can see that, but this has become really sort of sharp and jagged. So I'm going to clean that off and put some new tape on there and move along to the next step. All right, so get yourself a straight edge. Could be a level, could be a piece of trim wood like this, and make sure you can get your mark as close to straight as possible, right? Because you're going to be making this cut with your jigsaw and you don't want to go off the line as best as possible. You'll have to freehand, which is okay. Just get them on there and join the curve. Okay, I put new clean tape on here and took a lot of the rough bumps off of it, so that was good. And the jigsaw blades, you know, these are all the wood versions if you get a combo pack like this, and I've already cut quite a bit of the sheet metal, so I've gotten some replacement. And in this case, I'm going to grab the medium metal blade. Okay. And here, at least on the DeWalt version, you just pull this out. The blade goes straight in here. Cut surface pointing that direction and it in that little roller hole. And then got to get some power on this baby and we're ready to go. Okay, we're good to go, except the width of the jigsaw blade. It's about yay whip wide, won't fit through one of these tiny holes. So what we're going to do, starting with a small bit, and graduating up to a bigger bit, and finally a bigger bit, we're going to make ourselves sort of a pilot drill hole to get started. So goggles and gloves are really important in this process. And the other trick that I will share, I'm going to start the cutting, and we'll probably shoot a clip through here and then show it to you when we're getting close to the end, is I leave a piece of metal up on top here at the very end. So I'll cut all the way around here, all the way to here, leave a piece of metal so this flap is hanging, and that allows me to get my hand in behind it with gloves on, cut that last piece, and then I can easily, gently pull this out, because remember on the other side, I've got that catch that's holding all the metal shavings. So I want to bring this out slowly once I get to that spot. Ear protection. Okay, we're through. Now it's time to take all the burrs off all the way around. So I'm going to use a file, two different kind of files. One that's got a little bit of a quarter turn on it so you can get around these corners, and then I got a flat file. Before I put the primer on here, to seal this metal off, I've got a 3M primer. I want to get it cleaned up as best as possible. Not a lot to pull the burrs off. Okay, we got it ready. Now it's time to prime the edges and prime the outside where the urethane product called Sikaflex allows the window to stick on. So here is that P2G made by Sikaflex, primerless to the glass. The directions Van Windows Direct gave me was that you're still going to put this 3M primer down on the outside of the glass. To do that, you get one of these little dauber doodads. Because this urethane is really tough to squeeze out, Van Windows Direct provides this. This is an option. It's a much higher sort of compounded silicone gun or urethane gun. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to put this edging around the window. It's sort of a trim piece, and you can buy it through Van Windows Direct, and it just goes over that metal all the way around, and we use this rubber mallet to knock it down. And then this is the right kind of shears to cut it. You do anything lighter than that, you won't be able to cut this trim, because it does have some metal on the inside of it. And then no urethane job would be complete without using the right rubber gloves, plenty of paper towels for that emergency moment. And yeah, so that's the equipment necessary to get that window stuck up on the side. And I'm going to pull the window out, sitting in storage in my garage, and get it cleaned up. Here's our window from Van Windows Direct. This is the middle passenger window for a 2021 Sprinter van. I actually think it's 19 Sprinter van on up. But one of the things I recommend you do is sort of dry fit it into the opening so you know you've got it positioned appropriately. And because it's curved, it'll actually sit up there on the slider jamb. I'll show you what I mean. Straight edge on this side, and these windows have a slight angle that follows the struts on the inside of the Sprinter. A little bit of a funky angle, but I'm all right with it. All right, gotta remember the orientation. This goes up on the wall like that. So I want to screw that up. Got some scissors. Let's get this plastic off of here. Before installing this, you want to get it clean, super clean as you can get it. That's going to be important. You can clean it after it gets on the window, but getting all that dirt and dust off of there and some of the sticky stuff that comes with the packing is a good move. So I'm going to do that, get it cleaned up, and then we'll get ready to go. Okay, we got to put the 3M primer on. Dogs are getting fed at the moment. Very happy about getting fed. Okay, helpful to have a rag handy, which I do. So you just put that dauber down in there. Got trash right underneath me in case I need to drop any liquid. You just go along here and get that primer on all of the raw metal that you cut. It's okay if you get a little off of there because you're going to slap glass on that, so it's no big deal. You want to be watch. You want to be prepared and be mindful for any runs. You do want to clean those up if you get them. But this goes on real well and dries very quickly. Here's that edging we're going to put on. It's just a vinyl edging, and it's got metal in the inside that is the same shape. But I don't believe it's metal throughout, because sometimes when I cut it, it cuts straight through the vinyl. Other times I connect on a little piece of metal. So I'm not sure. We have to check Van Windows Direct on that. So the way I do this is I just get it going on the inside here. And it would really help if I had some gloves on. So I'm actually going to go get some stinking gloves on before I cause a problem. And because this is a pretty wide gap of metal, you really need some help. And this mallet does a nice trick. Nice job. So notice when I hit it real close to where it needs to spread. And I think that's kind of the trick too, to keep it going. Okay. So I hammered this, I hammered this, I should say soft rubber mallet, this liner all the way around, which is what I've done for the other big windows inside. Not the case for the bunk windows, but was definitely the case for the other two slider windows. So you want it as uniform as possible. The sikaflex is gonna sit out pretty thick and catch the window when you push it in. The other thing too I was going to tell you is that you don't want the window sitting on this track. I mean, think about that driving along. If it's sitting on that track, you know, van flexes it all. Not only that, when you match it up with this other slider window, you want it up here to be even, you know, so that it's uniform. So you don't want it hanging on this, and so you're going to push it up to get it to stick, and then we're going to tape it up with painter's tape. Yeah, I've got painter's tape. So I'm going to put the primer on. One thing I will do is I'm going to put an extra bead of sikaflex straight down here along with what I put on the edge. It's not necessary, absolutely necessary, but you don't want to go in a circular pattern with it because water can build in there, and you get too much water, you get a very cold environment, and then the glass can shatter, and that's the last thing you want to have happen, right? So I'm going to put a straight line of sikaflex here. I'm going to follow this all the way around with sikaflex, and then stick the window up. But first thing will be the primer. You can tell it doesn't take a lot. Certainly does not take a lot. And it dries very quickly, which is, I don't know that that's an issue at all, frankly. I'm going to put one bead straight down here. Okay, throw that away. All right, home stretch here. Listen, couple things. Number one, make sure you got your gloves on. This urethane is messy. Number two, you need to cut this urethane tip a certain way for this sikaflex, and the directions are absolutely right on the tip itself. So there's a valley that sort of goes in. That's what you want down against the metal. And then, you know, the other tip I will give you, is you want one bead of sikaflex. Anywhere where there's not a significant bead, you're going to have a leak, you're going to have a problem. So make sure you have and you want a healthy, good, solid, thick line of sikaflex. I've got 2 tubes of this. I don't think I'm going to need 2, but let's just get started and see where we end up. So get everything in here. I punctured the hole in the tube. Maybe see the sikaflex. It's black coming out. And this is the one straight line down. And you see that bead. It's a large, it's almost like the size of a piece of rope. Good sized piece of rope. And I'm holding it there as best I can. Keep it steady. Get this out of the way. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I didn't break the bead, which is good. Friday night here in Dallas, a lot of traffic. Okay, that's number one. All right, here's the moment of truth. there to start. I can bring it down. I believe you can push on glass this hard, but that's what I see them doing in the YouTubes. Got a little bit of urethane coming out here, but it's very minimal for the size of bead that I put on. Yeah, a little bit, I can see it. That's all manageable. By way of paint thinner. Problem there. Voila! We have the 7th window installed so far in this van, with the potential for an 8th. We'll see how that goes. Hey, listen, thanks for joining me. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. If you got any comments, any questions, throw them in the comment section. I'll get back to you. Lots of videos to come. It's been fun. Be good. Bye-bye.